Man, I'm just so sick of playing warrior. It's so boring. Maybe it's time I play a new class for RBGs.
Did somebody say RBGs?
Drew? Why are you dressed like Billy Mays?
Hi, Drew Dynamite here. Are you tired of playing basic melee classes and want to switch it up to something more epic?
Well, yeah, I was actually looking at some Rated Battleground tier lists.
Then I have just the class for you. Introducing Death Knight.
Actually, I was thinking of playing a demon hunter.
Death Knight is the best class to main for RBGs. It's fun, easy to play, and annoys your enemies every day. Oh no, there's an enemy far away that you want to attack, but you don't want to overextend. What class can solve this problem?
Death Knight can!
Just use Death Grip to bring the target right over to you. Need someone to mass slow a bunch of enemies trying to escape their inevitable demise?
Death Knight can!
Just spam Chains of Ice. It's that simple. Combined with Death Grip to make your enemy's life even more miserable. You'll be getting Rage Whispers telling you to KYS in no time. What's this? You and your teammates need to cross a body of water, but don't want to get your clothes wet? Screw it.
Death Knight can!
Just use Path of Frost, and you can walk on water. Like Jesus.
But I'm not done yet.
Call now and we'll throw in a free
Get over here!
soundbite to your Death Grips. It never gets old. I mean it. Play a Death Knight and I guarantee you'll get invited into every RBG group you apply for.
Hey, actually, I've been looking at some of these Rated Battleground tier lists, and it looks like demon hunters are in higher demand than Death Knights.
So what are you waiting for? Don't be a scrub. Call today. Warning, playing as a DK may include side effects such as depression, dry mouth, dizziness, becoming an edgelord, outdated scorpion memes, projectile vomiting, diarrhea, herpes, auditory hallucinations of the Lich King ordering you to kill your loved ones and raise them in undeath, super herpes. Don't wait! Order now! Whew. So, you're thinking about playing a Death Knight in RBGs. Well, you came to the right place. I've been a Death Knight main since Wrath of the Lich King, and I never stopped loving it. In this video, we're going to talk about the role Death Knights play in RBGs, their playstyle, talents, stat prio, rotation, all that good stuff, followed by a montage to demonstrate the Death Knight class in action. We're going to focus mainly on Unholy DK because at the time of this video, Unholy is the most popular DK spec in high-rated RBGs. That doesn't necessarily mean that Frost is bad, it's just not as popular. And if later on in the expansion Frost ends up being better than Unholy, the majority of the information in this video is still going to be relevant because they're both fundamentally the same in terms of what role they play in RBGs. I will briefly go over Frost and Blood. So sit back, relax as we dive into what it's like to play one of the most annoying classes to fight against in RBGs. Let's get into it. If you played this game long enough and paid attention to tier lists, you would have noticed that the quote-unquote best classes and specs to play are always changing from patch to patch. When you look at arena tier lists, sometimes DKs are in A tier, but you usually see them in B tier, give or take. And that's usually because they don't pump out as much damage as other melee like warriors or demon hunters, along with other factors. However, Rated Battlegrounds are a different story. One of the best things about playing a Death Knight is that no matter how good or bad your damage is, it's always useful to bring a Death Knight to RBGs for two reasons. Reason number one, Chains of Ice. Not only is it a slow you can spam as long as you have the runes for it, it can't be dispelled. It's one of the most toxic abilities in the game, and it's great for peeling and stalling enemies. And now with the proliferating chill talent, which puts chains on an additional nearby enemy, slowing down the whole team is easier than it's ever been. Want to delay the enemy team from getting from point A to point B? Throw a Chains of Ice. Flat carrier trying to escape? Here, have a Chains of Ice. Want to be a dick? Throw Chains of Ice. You get a chains, you get a chains, and 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 you get a chains. You get the point. That's reason number one why DKs have value. Reason number two, Death Grip. This ability is amazing for setting up kills, forcing defensives early, and annoying the living shit out of casters, especially warlocks. And since dragonflight, we get 2 talents that give us double grip and an even longer death grip. Like, come on. That's incredible. So it doesn't really matter that much how good or bad a Death Knight's damage is. What's important is their utility. Now let's talk about the specs. I've always enjoyed Unholy, and as much as I love watching my Legion of Zombies smacking the shit out of people, the spec has its drawbacks. One is that the burst cooldowns are all over the place. You got Dark Transformation, Apocalypse, and Unholy Blind on 45 seconds, Abomination and Unholy Assault on 1.5 minutes, A-Bomb Limb on 2 minutes, Gargoyle on 3. It's just a little awkward when I have to choose between waiting for all my CDs to come back or just throw out everything I have when I'm trying to kill something. But it's not that bad. And then, there's the pet management. The main ghoul is part of my damage output, and he has his uses, but the problem is that he's not hard to kill. Oftentimes, he just dies in the middle of a fight because he's squishy AF, and then I gotta use a global to resummon his ass, while other times I peel out of a fight and he's still off attacking someone, keeping me in combat, and then I gotta dismiss him and resummon his ass because I don't know where the hell he is, and it's annoying. Now onto the Frost spec. Frost spec is a lot easier to play than Unholy. How, you might ask? These are my buttons for Unholy, and these are my buttons for Frost. It's one of the most brain-dead specs in the game. Not only are there less buttons to push, but all the burst abilities sync up a lot better than Unholy. You have a go every 1 minute, and you don't have to worry about managing a pet. I mained Frost in Shadowlands, and it was more popular in RBGs at the time, but due to the damage rebalancing and previously exclusive Frost abilities such as Blinding Sleet and Empower Rune Weapon becoming available to all DK specs, Unholy has been the go-to spec for Dragonflight Season 1 and Season 2 so far. I enjoy both specs, and I don't think Frost is bad, it's just not as popular as Unholy right now. And then we have Blood, which is a troll spec. And I don't mean troll as in bad, I mean troll as in annoying. Yes, more annoying than Frost and Unholy. They're supposed to just death grip the enemy healers away from the fight, and keep them hostage. They can flag carry, but they're not as good as Guardian Druids or Vengeance DHs. Unless you have a really well-coordinated team, I don't recommend flag carrying as Blood. Anyway, onto the talent tree. For the main DK tree, this is what I've been running for the whole expansion so far. I don't really move any points around. The only thing I might change is that I might move Wraithwalk into improved Death Strike for domination maps, but I still prefer to have the mobility from Wraithwalk. I would hate playing flag maps in Temple if I didn't have it. For the Unholy tree, I moved only a few points around throughout the expansion, but this is what I've been mainly running so far before I get the full tier set. When I get the tier set, it's probably going to look something like this because it revolves around Death Coil. I might move some points around to get Unholy Blight back, but we'll have to wait and see. As for honor talents, the two I always run are Necrotic Wounds and Abomination. You need Abomination to make use of the Army of the Dead talent, which is dumb, but still, he's useful. He might not always go after the target I want him to. Where are you going? But his damage output and wound stacking is fair, his disease aura is pretty good for fishing out stealthies from a pretty decent range, he can spin bases and shadowy duels and smoke bombs. Come to think of it, he really is the anti-rogue.
Here's Johnny!
The last PvP talent slot is a toss-up between Necrotic Aura, Reanimation, and Strangulate. Most DKs use Necrotic Aura, as do I. I played a little with Reanimation since the Season 2 rework. It's not bad. They can't be targeted, CC'd, or killed, and the AoE damage and stun are nice, but it has a cast time, and if the target is immune to stun from a spell effect, the explosion does no damage for some reason. It's a fun spell, but I'm sticking with Necrotic Aura. Unless there's another DK in the group running Necrotic Aura because it doesn't stack, so I'll use that slot for Reanimation or Strangulate. The stat prio for both Unholy and Frost is Verse, Mastery, Haste, then Crit. These are my gear pieces and enchants so far, and these are the two crafted embellished items I'm using. If you have any questions about crafting embellished gear, I recommend Easy Game's video. I'll have it in the description below. And these are the macros I use. I have A-Bomb Limb and Empower Rune Weapon on one button, and I have Pet Attack and Dark Transformation paired with Raise Dead, so it resummons him if he's dead, which happens often enough. Also, please, for the love of God, take your pet stun off autocast. Right here. If your pet auto stuns a kill target on stun DR at the wrong time, you're gonna piss off your team and you're gonna have a bad time. Now onto the rotation. The basic rotation is not complicated, but as I said before, the burst cooldowns are all over the place and there's a lot of globals. For regular damage, I open up with Outbreak, then Festering Strike to build up wounds, then Scourge Strike or Clawing Shadow to pop those wounds, then I dump all my runic power on Death Coil, or Death Strike if I need heals. Now for the burst rotation. As I run up to a target, I throw out Abomination, then Unholy Blight, then Dark Transformation, then Unholy Assault to build up the wounds, then APOC to pop the wounds and summon the ghouls, then the A-Bomb Limb macro, then Gargoyle, and then dump as many Death Coils as I can to buff the Gargoyle while applying Festering Wounds and popping them with Scourge Strike. It's only like 7+ buttons, nothing too complicated. And the only ones off the global cooldown are Gargoyle and Empower Rune Weapon. Now, you may be wondering, Drew, why why does your gargoyle look hot and why is the name and spell icon different? Because I changed it to a Valkyrie by talking to this NPC in Ebonhold. You should also consider using Huddle during Dark Transformation so that your pet survives longer. But don't use it outside of Dark Transformation because if you do, he's just going to stand there like a mook and do nothing. Also very important, when you have the full tier set, make sure you use Abomination before using Dark Transformation to get the full benefit. And now onto the roles. So, what role does the Death Knight play in RBGs? Like, what's its job? Well, I feel like it's mainly a support class. What do I mean by that? Because of Death Grip, your main job is to set up kills for the other hard hitters in your group. Don't get me wrong, Death Knights have damage. They have plenty of kill potential and they're not bad in most 1v1 situations, but their biggest contribution is helping set up kills for the rest of the team, especially if you're running a melee cleave. Also very important, as a DK, you're often going to be expected to target call. I'm gripping Resto, Druid, get on the Resto.
They're gonna pick up and kite orbs. They're like,
I'm on Hunter.
come back to team fight and then pick up orbs.
I'm on Priest, get on Priest.
Yeah, listen to him, kill that beat.
Priest dead. CC the Druid, kill the Rogue.
We're trying to kill our purple.
Okay, kill Hunter, kill Hunter. Now, the target caller does not have to be the DK, but it usually is because of the Death Grip setups. Knowing when to swap on and off a target is important, so I recommend using add-ons which are covered in my RBG Beginner's Guide. Now onto what role you play for each map. For domination maps, your role is pretty simple. You're a team fighter. When another base is in trouble and needs someone to peel out for it, you are one of, if not the last person who should peel out in the middle of a team fight because your mobility sucks. You stay in team fight, you spin the base, and you stop enemies from peeling out to help other bases as best you can. You are not supposed to be a primary base sitter. You can sit a base better than most other non-stealth melee if you're unholy, but you should still never have a DK solo sit a base. For flag maps, you mainly play defense, usually with a Warlock. DKs are not bad to have on offense, and they can flex between offense and defense, but your Death Grip, Chains of Ice, and AoE Blind are usually better served on defense and escorting your flag carrier across the map when he needs it. Now, generally speaking, when I play on any map, especially if I'm playing defense on flag maps, my mission is to be the biggest pain in the ass I can be. Someone's chasing your tank, Death Grip and Chains, or even throwing a blind. But I usually try to save my blind for smoke bomb if there's an enemy rogue on the team, or if there are multiple people together to get the most value out of it, especially melee. For Eye of the Storm, it's the same as domination maps. You're a team fighter and you stop enemies from peeling out. You're usually going to be the first one to secure flag respawns in mid. Death Knights and Warlocks synergize really well here because you can help the lock set up port knocks with Death Grip, A-Bomb Limb, and Blind. You can also help set up knocks for Disc Priests, Mistweaver Monks, etc, etc. And then there's Temple of Kot Mogu. This is a very mobile map, and while DK mobility sucks, Death Grip is so valuable with snagging as many kills as you can and ruining the enemy's regroups. And Chains of Ice. You do not pick up orbs unless you absolutely have to. For Silver Shard Mines, you're a team fighter, and you're usually going to go Lava Card and chains as many enemies as you can when they try to peel out. You get a chains! You get a— And finally, Seething Shore is still not in the RBG rotation because it was bugged and Blizzard still hasn't fixed it. I don't know if it's ever coming back. As for what race you should play, the BiS race if your Horde is Orc and Human if you're Alliance. Kultirans are also pretty good for grip knocks. Why am I an Undead? Because Undead are the coolest race in the game. Don't at me. Lucky for me, the racial ability for Undead is not bad at all. It's just not as good as Human or Orc if you really want to be a meta slave. So before we wrap things up, I think it's time that we see the Death Knight in action.
To battle!
Victory
Attack!
was near.
Attack over here! Yes! Come to me! Retreat!
But I'm not done yet!
Get over here! Get over here!
I gotta get out of here!
Do it again! Get over here! Are you little
Jetzt geht's los! Jetzt geht's los!
Denied.
Einfach positiv werden. Gleich geht's los.
Do it again. Denied.
I've
believe I can fly.
Denied! Sit down! Target acquired. I'm coming for you! Help! That's a lot of damage. How about a little more? No. That's a lot of damage. I have an idea. Fuck! Oh! You must die! No! Retreat!
I think the fuck not.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
Get over here! Get over here!
No! God, please, no!
Get over here!
Please! I beg you!
Get over here! Get over here! Get over!
I will take it.
Not so fast!
Who will come out on top?
Are you serious?
What do we have here?
Gotcha, bitch! Oh, shit. I think I'm about to steal!
Stop right there!
Another one.
This is... Nope!
Well, I'm out of here.
Get over!
What? I'm still alive, motherfucker!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Unholy Death Knight. What do I think about it? It's a great class to main, and it's a great class to have as an ult. If Death Knight damage gets nerfed, it's not that big of a deal because, again, Death Knights are always valuable to have because of their utility. The most annoying thing about Unholy is the pet management. And the hardest thing is the target calling, but you know, you practice that enough, it's not that big of a deal. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time when we dive into the Devastation Evoker. I hope you all have a great day, and... Jason?
Hey, Drew, I really gotta be somewhere, and I don't have time for a corpse run. Can you just give me a rest, please?
All right, I got you. Just give me a second.
Fuck you, Drew.